1972 Dodge Polara, Illinois State Police, Crime Scene Services, wagon. Drink wine cooler in the parking lot. Sneak a key bump from the evidence locker. Say hello to the dispatcher while looking straight at her tits. Slide your ass into the cushy 1972 Dodge Polara squad wagon for a vigorous morning of reading Jugs magazine and sipping coffee from paper cups in rural Illinois. Yeah, Nixon's re-election is a given. The hippie movement, that's over. There's something called women's lib going on in the coast or New York City, wherever. Have you heard of this new band called ABBA? Catchy stuff. There's this other band, I don't know, it's strange. It's called Oingo Boingo. I thought it was country music about pig farming, but it doesn't make sense at all. Probably won't last. I hope none of my 3 radios call me. I want to get home to watch Marcus Webley, MD, starring Robert Young and James Brolin. I'm glad you and me were able to get with Crime Scene Services, even if this wagon car is a little odd. I'm just happy we don't have to do all that new stop and frisk crap. Some cat asked me if I was a friend of Dorothy while I was searching his pockets, and I don't know, I have this feeling that was code for something. No, he didn't have any dope on him, just a can of film that said Pink Flamingos on it. There's probably some nature documentary no one will watch.
This episode of Regular Car Reviews is sponsored by Riolink. These are home security cameras that free you from subscriptions. There's no extra fees with these things. They're self-contained, all-in-one, wireless. This thing is recording you right now. And they're even solar powered. If you have project cars, you're going to want to protect them. But sometimes your garage is a detached garage. Sometimes your house may be laid out weird, and it will be difficult to run cameras. Not with Riolink. As long as these can get the signal from their router, they're golden. All you have to do is plug the base station into your home router, then use your phone to initialize these cameras. And after that, start testing where you want to put them. The wonderful thing about these is that you're not really committed to where you want your cameras to go. Try them out in different locations. Put them up temporarily before you drill into stuff. I chose the super wide angle ones.
This model is from their Colo X series. For your camera nerds, like myself, this camera's f-stop is 1. That means it can get color video in very, very low light situations. It also has a 1-inch by 1.8-inch sensor.
With these particular models, when they sense motion, the floodlights turn on, which also adds an extra layer of deterrent. And if you really want, you can talk through them as well from your phone.
Here's how you talk through these cameras. You select the camera you want on your phone, and then there's a little icon of a microphone. It's like making any sort of voice memo. You press the button, wait a second, and then you can start talking through these cameras.
Also, don't worry about buying a memory card. These things come with them. You can also save the footage directly to your phone if you want from the app.
Riolink offers a range of intelligent, user-friendly, and state-of-the-art security solutions. Whether you want to enhance indoor or outdoor security, our versatile selection includes PoE, Wi-Fi, solar-powered, 4G LTE cameras, and NVR systems, tailored to meet your needs. With Riolink, you have complete freedom to create the perfect security setup for yourself. The hub allows you to easily control all Riolink devices, except 4G products, ensuring comprehensive protection of all your data and valuables, just the way you want it. So don't miss out. Click the link to unlock Riolink spring sales and build your personalized security system today. Upgrade your home with smarter, safer security this spring.
The narrow aisle by customer service. The A727 Torque Flight doesn't make gear changes a priority. It slides into each gear slowly, like a man 10 years away from retirement, smoothly unloading all of his responsibilities onto other younger officers over the course of the next 8 years, until you get to a point where you're not sure if he's already retired and just hanging around for social companionship, or he still works here. Seriously, our police chief did this in my hometown. Until all he did in his last year was I'm not joking about this, all he did was hang around the gun shop and grocery store all day. He wore a high-vis polo shirt, Like he so much, he didn't hardly any gear. He wore a high-vis polo shirt that had the name of the town, said police on it, and he carried just his phone and his sidearm. That's it. No cuffs, no radio, phone, gun, shirt. He was so checked out. Anyway, Dodge Polara, fuel economy, 10 miles a gallon on the highway, and don't ask about city. The more astute among you might have noticed the higher trim level accoutrements on this Polara, which indicates this is not a base trim fleet vehicle, which means this is a recreation of an Illinois State Police wagon, not the genuine article, because all of the ISP utility wagons were crushed. Sorry. It's like how most of the cool Grumman F-4F and F-6F fighter planes from the Pacific Theater of World War II, most of them were used as target drones after the war. I was saying they're cool planes, but you just don't. I saw one at Oshkosh. Anyway, no real police wagons exist from the state of Illinois anymore. This 1972 Polara was purchased and cloned by Luke Hartigan, Tom Glenn, and Mark Walther, and now it is part of the Illinois State Police Heritage Foundation. What you see is as close as anyone from the Midwest can get to a real police wagon. Everything on this Polara is real. Period police upfit equipment. The top lights are twin federal signals, and the loudspeaker is called, not joking, the blabbermouth. Combined with the rack, the whole top rig was sold to upfitters as one part number, or it was called the Federal Signal Model 11 Visibar. Inside, the siren public address combo is a Federal PA-20 interceptor. And now the radios, one Motorola high band, one Motorola low band, and one ISPern, which is the transceiver for the Illinois State Police Emergency Radio Network.
Yeah, I see 3 handsets here.
You've got this federal microphone here is for the PA. This microphone is your high band and low band radio. This one is for something called ISPern, Illinois State Police Emergency Radio Network. If you got in a pursuit, you'd switch over from high band to ISPern to broadcast your pursuit. So not only could state police hear your broadcast, but local agencies could hear it as well. So say you're on a chase on the Chicago Expressway, you want the guys from CPD to intercept at the top of a ramp, boom, that's your guy. And state police went from low band radio to high band radio in 1968, but they kept low band through about the year 2000. About the same time they went from strictly 10 codes on the radio to plain language.
Now, I like this, you probably like this, and maybe you're thinking, well, maybe I'll build my own classic police car. I'll recreate one from the time period. Well, hang on. You can do that, but there are some written and unwritten commandments you have to follow. Otherwise, you're going to get in a lot of legal trouble, even with classic cars. Here are the 3 most important ones you need to know. Number 1, thou shalt not clown. Thou shalt not clown. This means that when you build up a vintage police car, everything on the car must be accurate to the year it was issued. No custom liveries, no incorrect colors, no lighting or any technology that wasn't issued by the department where the car served during the same time period. I realize that this particular Polara does have a modern Edelbrock, but it's not like it's run an EFI. Like maybe you get a pass, like, okay, you replaced the carburetor that runs a little bit better. If you violate any part of commandment number 1, you won't have a squad car anymore. You will have a clown car and you'll get laughed at. Thou shalt not play dress up. This means you wear civilian clothes when you drive a recreation or restored squad car. Never wear law enforcement uniforms or anything tactical. That is impersonating a police officer, even if the car is an antique. Now, you can have a period correct uniform lying on the seat at a car show, but that's it. Commandment number 3, thou shalt not run code in traffic. See that inviting knob there? That turns on the lights. And see that delicious mic and PA speaker? Oh, that siren switch is calling your name, isn't it?
Don't. No.
On private property, yes, like we did here. But on public roads, no. The second you turn on these lights, the punishment can range from a Class 4 to a Class 1 felony, even if the car is a classic.
Okay, check this out. This is the early days of click it or ticket. And even in old police cars, they were not immune from this. So my seatbelt is off. I'm gonna put it in drive. And listen to that. And I can start driving. It doesn't stop at all. Does it do it in reverse? Nope. As long as it's in a drive, as long as it's in some kind of drive gear, that little buzzer is not gonna shut up. Today the outside temperature is about 24 degrees Fahrenheit, but it is toasty warm in here. Now I am fully tempted to just turn on my emergency lights. It's this switch down here. I'm not gonna do that because that's illegal. That's impersonating a police officer. The speedometer kind of tells me how fast I'm going. I'm going 55, 70, 55, 70, 55, 70. Whoa! Wow! This thing sure accelerates and decelerates really fast. Whoa!
Dodge Polara, the official car of Gen Pop is too dangerous for a guy like me. The Dodge Polara released for the model year in 1960, and while it was either at or near the top of the line for their full-size offerings in the first 2 years, Dodge basically changed strategies so that by 1962, it was downsized to the 116-inch B-body wheelbase. The redesign didn't work, so Chrysler kept tinkering with the design of the Polara, and over the course of the later 1960s, this became popular options for police fleets. By 1968, sales had climbed above 100,000 units annually. And it's not too out there to think that its omnipresence in the lives of the average citizen had something to do with it. Every generation of drivers had people who wanted to look like a cop. We still have them today. Now they drive Tauruses and Explorers. And these people make that their entire identity. Not James, of course, since being a historian is his actual job as well as being a dispatcher, but I'm talking about people who adopt the signifiers of authority. Doing that is as common as it is postmodern, because it gives people confidence through the temporary illusion of control. So driving this Dodge Polara police wagon is a rolling stat boost. The police options that had the 440 cubic inch engine with the correct gearing had a top speed of 149. And that was set by the California Highway Patrol back in 1969. And that earned it the record for the fastest factory-built four-door sedan. And that record stood for 25 years until an LT1 equipped Chevy Caprice beat it in 1994. The Polara was a successful car by most standards. So why did it ultimately fail after just 13 years? Well, by 1969, the Polara was in its fourth and final model generation, and it had now moved over to the C-body chassis. While police fleets were still using them, sales were starting to slip. The Dodge Monaco sort of made this redundant and weirdly old-fashioned, and who knows? Maybe there was something countercultural going on, where people were rejecting authority rather than wanting to wear its skin. Because the only thing more constant than people adopting the signifiers of authority is people rejecting those signifiers. Society is, and always has been, a case of ideologies constantly headbutting each other until all that's left of the heads are bloody stumps. Of course, the more obvious and practical explanation for the Polara's decline was the 70s oil crisis. When the oil embargo began in October 1973, people were dropping gas-guzzling land yachts faster than Tesla stock. And sometimes that's really all it takes. Money. We're sentimental about cars, so we often like to apply some grander narrative to why these cars end up failing. The consumers didn't understand it, drivers weren't ready for it, customers lacked taste. It's the same refrain for anyone who ever loved something underrated. Never mind that if the thing they liked ever became popular, those same people will be the first ones to complain about the mainstream ruining it. Because people gatekeep the things they love. It makes them feel special for having this one thing, this one unique thing. Something that they can feel ownership over. Something that has a light enough bandwagon to still move forward. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I get why people like to restore these types of cars, particularly ones as underrated and overlooked as the Dodge Polara. But even while it's underrated in the modern sense of fewer people bringing this up in classic car circles, it's not exactly a surprise that it was still discontinued when it was. By the end of its 4th generation, it had failed to maintain the levels of interest it had enjoyed in the previous 3. And while you could argue that the Monaco took priority, or social attitudes were changing, it's probably a lot simpler. The oil embargo seems as simple as you can get, because it landed the final blow to the golden age of American largesse, and it claimed its victims indiscriminately. A dispassionate elimination of everything people thought an American car could be, in favor of rising import options and downsized offerings. But when you're able to live on like this, when you're able to have a community of people who want to keep your automotive legacy alive, generations upon generations later, is that really failing?
Hello, you've reached the end of the video. I'm proud of you. If you come this far, I know you want to go farther. RCR's Patreon has tons of more content and all the stuff that I can't get away with on YouTube anymore. It's fun, it's bawdy, and it's extra dirty. And for $1, you get all of it. That's it. Less than the cost of a Costco hot dog. $1, you get double the content. You know what else? If everybody who watched this video joined our Patreon, RCR would be unstoppable. There's no telling what we could do with your support. So please, go to the Patreon, join it. It's only $1. Thank you so much, and thank you for liking Regular Car Reviews.